Hello, we're going to be looking at the area of compound shapes, and the lesson objective is to be able to find the area of compound shapes. Now we need to know what compound shapes are. Compound shapes are basically two or more shapes that have been joined together. So before we start this, we just need to recap on what we know from our previous lesson. Now we need to find out the area of a rectangle, and the formula is length times width. So if we were doing this question up here, finding out the area of this rectangle, we would say 4 times 7, which is 28, and getting our units right, centimeters squared. Also, if I said, what is the formula to work out the area of a rectangle? So if I just quickly draw a rectangle here, and I say the base is 6 centimeters, and the height is going to be 8 centimeters. What you need to do is remember the formula, which is base times height. You have to divide that by 2 because it's a triangle, and it's going to be 6 times 8, base times height, and don't forget divided by 2, and the answer is 24 centimeters squared. What we're going to do for this part here is we need to find out the area of these compound shapes. Well, one thing you will notice on this question up here is we've got two sides that are missing. So before we attempt to this question, we need to find out what the missing sides are. So if I look at this missing side here first, the one I've highlighted in red, I know that side and this side here together, added together, make 6 centimeters. It tells me here. And if that's going to be 4 centimeters, I know this one here has to be 2 centimeters. I also know there's another side that is missing, which is this side up here. And the width of this shape is 8 centimeters, and the bottom part of this shape, the width of it is 4 centimeters. And I know 4 centimeters and this height here that's missing make 8 centimeters. So 4 plus 4 is 8. So this is going to be 4 centimeters. I've found out my missing sides. Now what I can do now is to work out the area. I can split the shape up into two different shapes. And what I'm going to do is label this shape A and label that shape B. So I've got two different shapes now. And I know they're both rectangles. Now what I can do now is find out the area for shape A. It's going to be 6 times 4. 6 times 4, and that is 24. We'll look at the units a bit later on. Shape B, I know that's going to be this 4 here times this 4, length times width. So 4 times 4 equals 16. All I need to do now is add shape A together and shape B together, and that will be my final answer. I know 24 plus 16 is going to be 40, and the correct units are going to be centimeters squared. What I want you to do now is pause the video and attempt this question for me, please. The first thing you should have noticed, we've got two missing sides, so what we need to do is fill in the missing sides, identify what the height of this side is. So that's our missing side here. What I do know, the height of this side is 2 centimeters, and I know the height of that side is 2 centimeters. Both of these sides have to add to make the missing side, so 2 add 2 is 4 centimeters. So I know that side is 4 centimeters. What I also know is there's another missing side, which is this side up here. That's the missing side. I know the total width of this shape is 10 centimeters, and I also know the total width of the top part is 5 centimeters. So in other words, this 5 centimeters and the missing side have to make 10 centimeters. So this is going to be 5 centimeters. Like we did in our previous example, we could now split the shape up in two. So I'm just going to split the shape up in two up here. So I'm going to label that shape A and label that shape B. Now shape A, we have to remember shape A starts from here and it stops all the way here. So it's going to be 5 times 4, length times width, 5 times 4, which equals 20. And shape B, 5 times 2. So in other words, 5 times 2 equals 10. Same as our previous question now, I need to add up shape A and B together, which is going to be 30, and just the correct units, which are centimeters squared. We've got another compound shape. So we've got shapes up there. So what I can do, the first thing I could do with this example up here is I can split my shape up into 2 different shapes up there. And again, what I'll do, I'll label these shapes shape A and shape B. Shape A is going to be pretty straightforward to find the area of. So I'm just going to write here shape A, and the area of shape A is 3 times 4. It's a rectangle, so we just need to write down 12 up here. Now with shape B, what we need to do first of all is we need to remember shape B is a triangle, and the formula for a triangle is going to be base times height divided by 2. We know the base is going to be this part up here, that's going to be the base, so that is going to, if the bottom part's 4, we know the base here is going to be 4 meters, and the height is the one where we're going to have problems with. Now the height is only this part here that I've highlighted for you, that's the height up there. We know if this is going to be 3 centimeters, the one on the left hand side, we know this part here, the one I'm highlighting here, is going to be 3 meters as well, so that's going to be 3 meters. And what I need to do is find out what this part of the height is going to be now here. So in other words, 7 take away 3, so this should be 4 meters up there. And let's try and work out shape B now, using our formula base times height. So the base is going to be 4, and the height is going to be 4. But we have to remember, because it's a triangle, we have to divide it by 2. 4 times 4 is 8, divided by 2 equals 8. And all we have to do now is add shape A and B together, which is going to be 20 is going to be meters and squared. Just make sure you put the correct units in. What I want you to do now is pause the video and have a go at this question. As I said previously, what you could have done quite easily is just join that shape together. So you've got 2 different shapes. I'm going to label this shape A and shape B. A is going to be pretty straightforward, so we'll work out shape A first. Shape A is 4 times 5, so 4 times 5, and that equals 20. Now shape B is a bit of a problem. We know it's a triangle, and we know the area for a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So the base is going to be, because the bottom part of that shape is 5, that's going to be 5 meters as well. What we need to remember is this height on this side is 4 meters. So that means this height there's also going to be 4 meters up there, up to the triangle. So that's going to be 4 meters. And what we're looking at now is this height up here. So this is the height we're looking for up here. So all you have to do is 10 take away 4, which is 6. So we know the height of the triangle is going to be 6 meters. Now we're going to work out shape B now. Base times height, so it's going to be 5 times 6. Because it's a triangle, we have to divide it by 2. We should have 15. And all we're doing is adding shape A and B together, and you should have 35 meters squared. This is a worded question which is slightly more difficult, but the key thing is you must remember how to read the question. So it says here, Jamie is painting a wall as shown by the shaded region below. The shaded region is just this door in the background without the door and the window. He buys a tin of paint that would cover 10 meters squared. Will he have enough paint? The first thing I'm going to do is just look at the wall, which is the outline of the building. So if I write down the wall up there, let's work out the area for the wall. And we know the wall itself is going to be 2.5 meters times 5 meters. So 2.5 times 5, and I know the wall is 12.5 meters squared. So 12.5. Now, I'm going to be looking at the door now, so let's work out the door. So, to work out the area of the door, I know it's a rectangle again, so I need to write down 0.8 times 2. And I know that works out to 1.6. The window, again, it's going to be a rectangle, so it's going to be 1.8 times 1, 1.8 times 1, which is 1.8. The only thing we have to do now is to find out the shaded region, because remember it says the shaded region, which is everything except the window and the door. So we know the big wall is 12.5, and we have to take away both the window and the door. So I'm just going to put in brackets, take away 1.6, which is a door, and 1.8, which is the window. So in other words, 12 take away 3.4, and that equals 9.1 meters squared. Now, this is what I've got as the area for the shaded region, but I've not quite finished my question, because the question says he buys a tin of paint that would cover 10 meters squared. Has he got enough paint? Quite clearly, he's only going to be using 9.1, and he's got 10 meters squared, so I'm going to write down yes he does. Yes he does, because that is answering the question. Finally, what I want you to do now is attempt these questions. I just want you to attempt 2 from the red, 2 from amber, and 2 from the green section. Once you've done that, can you take a photo of these and upload it onto MathsWatch? Thank you for watching.